Here we are coming up on Cabot Outdoors. Fix to do a little business with this young man down here. And it's, again, Cabot Outdoors, Cabot, Arkansas. It's a Hustler dealer, a steel dealer. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to go in here and see if we can meet the owner, Mr. Josh Duke. So stay tuned. Here we go. Alrighty, so let's see, Mr. Duke. Here he is, Mr. Josh Duke. How you doing, sir?
All pretty good.
And we are where?
Cabot Outdoors, 901 South Pine in Cabot.
What's your phone number, sir?
501-843-7956.
All right, so if someone's in the business that's needing a Hustler or big dog, you're in business.
We can fix them up.
And what's that orange thing you get over there?
Husqvarna steering wheel tractors.
Oh, really? That's for like riding on the side of hills and stuff.
Yeah, or just
towing those little tiny trailers around. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is walk through here, and we did a little commercial for you in BB at your other store.
Yes, sir.
Let's start right behind you there, and let's tell these people what we have.
We've got the Dash XD. This is a 48-inch. It's got the 18-horse Kawasaki kind of entry-level machine. There's one below it, but the Dash, and then a Dash XD.
And the differences between the very beginner model or the entry model is?
The transmission pumps are a little bit heavier in the XD.
In this D, okay.
It has Kawasaki engine, has a 2-gallon fuel capacity, whereas the regular Dash has a 10.5 horse with a 3-quart fuel tank. So
wow.
It's pretty small. And
that's for, you're not real serious.
Right.
Yeah, this is for the serious home guy right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is for how much acreage?
Up to about an acre.
About an acre. Okay. Well, and that's a nice size piece of property if you're in town.
And they make this in a 42, 48, and a 54.
And it's all steel,
Welded
tubular
frame.
welded frame, right?
Yep.
Okay. And it does have, they started out with a little less expensive seat. This is the upgrade seat from 3 years ago, right?
The Dash has the more
the little molded
yeah,
skim type
right.
seat.
And
yeah.
this is similar to what's on the Raptor X.
Okay.
Less the armrest.
Oh, okay. All right. And it does have the angled fuel tank now, filler. That's nice. And they come with 2 different engines?
The different size engines. It's a 15, 18, and I think a 21.
All Kawasaki?
Yes,
okay,
on
good,
the deck size.
good.
And then your 34 and your 42 and your regular Dash has the 10.5 horse brakes.
Now, something you were out of at the BB store, because you've been selling so many mowers, can't hardly get into your doggone drive because people are carrying these mowers out. I see you have an entry-level Raptor X over here.
Yes, sir.
Let's start over there, if you don't mind, sir. And let's show them that Raptor X, and we'll try to explain the difference to them between the X and the XD and XDX.
So
now, this is the X.
The 42X, and this will be the 54X.
Okay, and the difference is going to be?
The deck, of course.
The deck. All right. And there it is. It's real simple to see. Is they're wider on a 54, and it's got a number on it.
And your rear tires are going to be a little bit wider on your 54-inch decks versus your 42. You've got an 18-horse Kawasaki and a 21-horse Kawasaki.
Okay. And you're allowed to run a wider tire because you have a wider deck, naturally.
Right.
Okay. And they both have the upgrade seats and arms.
Yes.
All right. And now these really now have become a standard, right?
Yes. And they come standard with the hour meter and 2-gallon fuel tank. It's a nice unit.
Good deal. And now they have the little 5-inch tires on the X.
Mm-hmm.
I think these are a 5-inch by 5 by 5, 11 by 5.
Yeah,
correct.
Right.
11 by 5 by 5.
Yeah.
And over here you have the or 4.5. These are 5s, I believe.
Right.
And this is the 5 by 5, 11 by 5 by 5. Am I right?
And then that'll be the 13.
Then you get over here the 13. Now this is the same tire right here on the XD as you were going to have on
Fast Track and your
the Fast Track, the X1 Super Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
The wheel bearings are different inside, but
Right. Different, little smaller, or different wheels, allowing for a bigger bearing.
Right.
Correct. Okay.
Right.
All right. Now, what's the difference then between if we jump up from the X to XD? What do you have over here for us?
So when you go to the XD, you're getting a taller back seat.
Okay.
The deck has a lock position when you lift the deck all the way up, you can lock it.
So it's not riding just on the pin.
Right.
That is a good idea.
These are running the ZT 2800 transmissions. They have the spin-on filters, serviceable units.
So these things do about up to 7.5 miles an hour, more or less.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
They're rated up to about 3 acres is what
And-
we kind of recommend.
And something that people are always asking me about at Max's Garage Mahal, I just hooked someone up the other day with a foot pad. You don't need to buy those now because you have it already incorporated. It keeps you from ruining paint.
Right. And then you've also got in the Raptor X and Up series, you've got a single bolt, and this floor pan will lift up to access, to be able
Right.
to
Now
make
you can operate this without that bolt in it.
Yeah,
It's not recommended, but
Yeah, right.
okay. All right, because you're going to be asked that more than once. All right, and this is the XD in your 48, and
you go to the 54. You go to the wider rear tires.
Wider tires.
54 and the 60 is going to have the wider tires.
Okay.
You step up in horsepower from a 21 to a 23.
Okay.
And then you go to a 24 on the 60 inch.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but on one of these mowers, you've got that new Kawasaki in it, haven't you? Or probably more than one.
Are you talking about the FT engine?
Yeah, let's get to that here in a minute, but let's finish and go over to the XDX over here. Now, this is a 60-inch mower.
Yes, sir. It's
And
basically the XD with a nicer seat, and it's got the ZT 3100 transmissions, and it has the same deck spindles as the Fast Track.
And now they are doing, in the last year, they've been doing this
It's vented on the
vented
bottom
so that
side.
they'll get rid of the grass debris.
And then when you go to the XDX, instead of having bolts, you've got these wing nuts, so you can remove these.
Pop it off real quickly by hand. No tools required.
Right.
This still got the FR 730, the old workhorse. It's been around for a while. Good motor. They do a good job. And they're all now, I've noticed that even the X's now have an engine guard on them. You don't have to buy that and add that now. They all have that. That's a real good idea.
Even on the X, the
Even in the little dash, I was just noticing that. Yeah. So then we move up from the XDX to.
We're going to go to the Fast Track.
All right. Right here we have a 54-inch Fast Track, correct?
This is actually a 2021 Fast Track. This one here, they've changed. If you look at the style difference.
And this is the same back here as far as the fender goes, and this is a single fuel tank.
Yeah, single
2021
5-gallon fuel tank.
I bet you don't have any more of these in the back, do you?
I've got one or two.
Man, you can't find these if you're looking for that, then.
No.
All right, so, and this one is the
new
22.
model. We've got the 2022 54s in the back, too.
Well, I'll tell you what, while we're here, and this is the newer model, I just want to show them that this was available by the end of the year in 2021 for this FT Kawasaki.
Yes, which it has it's kind of similar to a Donaldson air filter system.
Okay.
It's a
looks real
Cyclonics
similar.
That, it runs a lot cleaner. It's real similar to the FR engine. It's just got a different air filter system.
Okay, and it has another real neat feature.
Your openings here to blow the fins out, keep it clean.
Yeah, I can't get the light right because I'm in your way, in the light's way. But you can look down through here. This is a nice big opening, and it's covered up. Great. And now you can see the fins of the jug and the head down there. Those get stopped up with debris. What happens? You burn these little motors out.
Overheating.
You bet you. This is a great design, and I tell people all the time, on the FRs, the FXs, when you get in there, make sure you blow out the vent holes. But with this, it's just so much easier.
Yeah.
That looks good. I liked it. I'm glad they did that. As well as this one over here is the 2.2 model, and it really has a couple upgrades on it. So explain that to the people if you would.
They went back to the around the 2015. They used to have a twin tank set up, and that's when this series here came out. So,
Right.
So now the 2022 has a twin tank. It's
And what's this you're pointing at right here?
This is your mechanical fuel gauge. You just got
Mechanical.
float in there, no wires, no nothing. when the gas
Oh
is
man,
up.
no wait, is this like Back to the Future is what you're saying?
Almost.
I mean, this thing right here, like, the world's upside down, that don't work.
Yep.
All right.
And, so we've got our meter on here. We've got a selector so we can select between the left or the right tank.
So it's got twin tanks again. And the tanks, now you don't have to worry about looking through a clear plastic that can rupture or crack from heat. Now the tanks are real solid, heavy polymer plastic, and they have, each one has its own analog mechanical gauge.
Yes.
Am I close?
And then they've also added this USB port over here to hook your phone. Or
very important, because this people got to have that these days.
It's a yeah, real world problems.
You bet, you bet. Gotta be able to stay in touch. All right, yeah, this is a good looking mower.
They're running the ZT 3200 transmissions on this. It's an 1.1" shaft, whereas the 2021s were a 1" shaft in a 3100 transmission. The next step up from this would be the Fast Track SDX, and you're going to change from 3200 transmission to a 3400 transmission and an FX engine.
Okay, something I did notice, I want to point out to people, is they made it a little easier to get to the fuses and actually be able to see them to tell if they're burnt. So that's a plus, because the older model over here, it's way down close to the frame and it's hard to get to.
And I always tell people, if you are testing fuses, take a meter and ohm them out, because I've seen them where they can be shorted and you can't physically see it, and it will eat your
especially if it's burnt and it's created a little what's that, oxidation on that burn.
Yeah.
And they'll still touch, but it won't be enough to carry the current.
Yeah.
Now over here are this is a Super Z, and I believe you have a
This is a X1.
X1, yeah.
60-inch X1.
All right, X1 here, 5-foot deck, 60-inch. And show us the upgrades on this new model.
They're running the i3 MC, which has been out for a couple years now.
Okay, hop up in there and jump up and down. Let me see that work. People want to know all about these things, and you're easier to look at than I am.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You got your knob here,
and this knob is just, you just turn it.
Right. I like to pick up, and twist it.
Right.
Takes the load off of it.
Yeah.
And then you've got your slide over here.
And it comes with a slide already. You don't have to do this slide kit anymore. That's great. I like it. Comes with the big tires rear, big tires front, and it's got, I see something I like here. Is that the old Grassmaster's back?
Yep. 24 by 12 Grassmasters.
Got a good old tire.
Yeah.
Good old tire. All right, and something I did notice at your BB store, we were talking about the upgraded roll bar here. It is heck for stout. And something you mentioned on it, let me come around there, is these things rattle like crazy. So didn't you say they had something here to block a lot of this out?
They changed this pin system here. It has a rubber ISO mount in there, and it keeps constant pressure so that thing doesn't sit there and just shake to death.
Plus the material thickness both on the roll bar itself and the lock plate is tremendously heavy.
And you can see on the X1 that everything's really easy to get to. I mean, a person could replace the dry belt, anywhere pretty much.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get to the pumps, keep them clean. The Parker,
now what is that? Is that a 5400?
No, it's a Parker UHT transmission.
Oh, okay. All right.
Integrated pump and wheel motor on each side. 10.5 mile an hour ground speed.
Now we're talking. And there's the this is the fuel selector, so you can go from side to side.
And you'll see down here on these idler pulleys, they went with a vented idler pulley.
You bet. I saw that at the trade show. I like that.
It keeps less weight, of course, and it helps cool. And then you also see the shield on top to protect the bearing.
Can you throw your light on it again if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Make sure people can see that.
See it there. You can see the shielding and stuff in there.
It's really wanting to focus right there, so we'll try to look at it from a different angle here in a minute. But anyway, that really is a good idea, because anytime you can take weight off a pulley, it's less mass to turn as well. Reciprocating and rotating mass both eat up horsepower and torque. All right, hey, this looks good. I like it. Now, we jump up from the X1 to the Hustler Super Z.
Yeah, and here we've got a 54-inch Super Z.
Now that's really sort of an oddball.
It's kind of a niche mower. A lot of people that don't like the 60-inch, you know, 60's kind
or they have a hill and valley that messes with them.
Yeah, but you've got the 14-mile-an-hour ground speed on this unit to be able to get across from
right.
point A to point B.
And 14s are actually moving pretty good on a mower.
Yeah.
Moving pretty fast. And it also has the stock. This is stock now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On this, it's got the high dollar seat, fully weight adjustable, the slider system. That's stock from the factory. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This little commercial we're doing here is I'm just introducing you and your company to the world. And this will be seen in China, South Africa, Switzerland, all over the place. So what I'm doing here is you're providing a mower to do a test product on for Pedal Pro Max. And by the way, through me, and I appreciate it. And we're going to use this mower right here to put that product on. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's the reason why I wanted to let people know why there's wrenches. It's not because there's something wrong with this mower.
We're getting ready to.
We're fixing to get ready right here to install that. So we'll show you that in another video here shortly. So that pretty much carries what you have in. Now there's one other thing over here. Now I'm not belittling Big Dog, because that's a new addition to your last 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah, actually, last year was our first year with the BigDog lineup, and it really helped out with the mower shortage that we've been running into. So we've had another product to offer for people, and some people just like red over yellow.
That's right, and the difference is basically our red over yellow.
Yeah, I mean there's some differences,
but it's minute. It's not a great deal of difference. Same company.
In the future, it's going to be greater and greater.
Right. This is going to be like the Chevrolet Cadillac sort of thing.
Yeah, Chevy and GMC.
Buick Cadillac. Okay, this is more of a Buick line. All right, and you have one other Hustler in the showroom over there. Yeah. I know the last time I was down here, you had every model. I don't know how you got them all in here,
but squeeze them in there.
But yeah, you had them tight. It was all but stacked on top of each other. And there's one other little sucker right here. This
is the Raptor flip up in a 48-inch.
And the unique thing about this particular mower is that you can flip that deck up to get to the blades, clean, sharpen, whatever you need to do. And it is very unique to this company, if I remember correctly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the only deck that flips up on a mid-mount mower. There are some front mounts that have a similar design.
Now, really, if you're like myself and you're old, fat, and ugly, this would really be the way to go, because this little issue that's going on right now, that would save a lot of trying to get on the floor and jacking that thing up and get under it.
It makes it easy to clean, easy to sharpen or change the blades.
Now, this is what they call the Hustler Transformer. I'm sorry, flip up.
Yes, sir.
That's a pretty neat little mower right there. Well, Mr. Duke, we do appreciate the tour, and now I'm about to put you to work for real. All right, well, thank you very kindly, and be sure and tell them one more time where you're at, the phone number.
Cabot Outdoors, 901 South Pine Street, Cabot, Arkansas. 501-843-7956.
You're a fine young man. We appreciate it. Y'all come back, see us at Max's Garage Mahal. Be sure, and what do you want to do? You want to subscribe, share, and hit that little thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.